going into this had no idea about Mr. Cronin.
Exactly. All right, Kenny Golladay is a New York Giant. It's kind of interesting that the Giants would pay him that much money. And you look at the Giants roster, guys. I mean, offensively, if Saquon's healthy, you got Saquon. You got, two decent tight ends in Ingram, who actually made the Pro Bowl. I don't think he deserved to. And they got Kyle Rudolph, right? From Minnesota.
Yeah.
Okay, so they got two good tight ends. They got Golladay. They got Slayton and Sterling Shepard. All they need is a quarterback.
Well, yes, they do, but they believe they've got a quarterback.
I know,
and Daniel Jones,
but he never get. Look, their offensive line was a little better this past season, right? But not much.
Well, no, and honestly, it's not going to be any better next year because Nate Solder. You can say whatever you want about him. I know there's a lot of people that don't like him as their left tackle. They paid him a ton of money. They're getting no production out of it. And no matter if you think Daniel Jones is your guy, you've given him some weapons. But if he can't throw the ball, if he doesn't have time to be comfortable, what does any of it mean?
You're right. So, but if he has time to throw the ball, they'll be fun to watch. All right. So Golladay leaves, which we all knew was good. Anybody have a problem with him? The Lions got nothing for him.
Not yet.
Well, so they got a late supplemental pick, you mean?
A third round, compensatory.
That's what I mean. Late in the third round, probably. Was that enough? Did they try? We have no idea. We assume they tried to sign him to the franchise and then trade him somewhere. But that didn't work. In a sense, money-wise, it's almost like they traded Brockers and Williams, for Kenny Golladay, really. You think about it money-wise, correct?
Yeah, and I think that's a win. In my book, I don't really have a problem because I think.
Why? But there are other people I know. I have a friend of mine called the president of Kenny Galladay's fan club. He goes, "What are we? He's one of our best players. We just let him go for nothing." So you're gonna tell me so that means we're gonna probably draft a wide receiver. So you got, Williams and Cephas and Geronimo Allison and, who's your other receiver?
Well, you don't have one yet. And so it's the reason that I don't have a problem with this is because if you sign him to the franchise tag, now if you're basically going to be giving away, you then put yourself in the same position, not necessarily as much or as dramatic as the Rams were in trying to get rid of some of their salary and get rid of Jared Goff.
But if Kenny Golladay has a good season and the Lions, let's say, aren't, but he's part of it, at the trading deadline, and they got a third-round pick for Golden Tate, you don't think they can get at least a better third-round pick for a supplemental compensatory pick for Kenny Golladay at the trading deadline?
I'm not ready. I don't want to take that gamble.
Okay.
If I'm going to go from a late third to a mid-round third, that's just not a gamble I want to take. And so I'm fine with it. Is Kenny Golladay a good receiver? I think people misunderstand the fact that we say we wouldn't have franchise tagged him or we wouldn't have given him a long-term deal. He's still a really good receiver.
Oh, yes.
And so I don't want anybody to misunderstand us. He just didn't fit into, like Matthew Stafford, didn't fit into the timeline for the Detroit Lions and what it was going to cost to keep him around. Now they've moved on, and yes, he'll probably go and have hopefully he has a good year. Like, I don't have anything against Kenny Golladay.
Right. Look, I'm playing devil's advocate here because I think they did the right thing. 248-539-9797. When you talk about the timeline, okay, let's say he is healthy, he plays 3 years. By that time, you think the Lions are ready, and he'll be in the prime of his career, or right after, close to his prime of his career, maybe a little bit on the downside. I don't know. But with all the money that they're getting with all these new TV deals, the cap's going to go way up. Okay, we agree with that, right? So Kenny Golladay probably would be a bargain if he's really good at what the Lions would have had to pay him. I think they didn't want him around. I mean, granted, a lot of it was Quinn, a lot of it was Patricia, we assume. The fact that he turned down 18, 19, and he got it from the Lions, God bless him.
Yep. He got it from the Giants, yeah. And but that's a big if. You mentioned if he stays healthy. That's a big if. If you're going to give a guy 4 years, $72 million, million, or if you're going to franchise him and hopefully he's going to have a career year, it's a big if. He was only healthy for 5 games last year. And we don't necessarily know, was he not playing at the end of the year because he physically couldn't, or was he just not in a hurry to get back on the field?
Well, that's last year. I mean, but last year's really his only major injury, right?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't very productive his rookie year, but you wouldn't necessarily expect that. He was a third-round pick. So his next 2 years, yes, he was productive.
What do you think of the Proctors? The fact that they restructured his deal, but he's getting a lot of guarantees. He's getting, what, $11 million guaranteed?
Yes.
He's a good player, but is that an overprice, or is that he's just here for the culture?
I think he's here for the culture. I think he's here to produce in the next 2 years. And you can still let him go after the 22 season, and you're not going to take a huge hit. He's still, in my mind, this contract still means he's a rental. And yes, can you keep him for another year? Could you rework his deal for another time? It doesn't put the Lions in a bad salary cap spot, because next year we all believe it's going to go up a lot more. The Lions will still have plenty of money to spend. They're going to have plenty of draft capital. To have a player like that on defense that knows how to win, paired with a player like Jared Goff, whether you think he's the quarterback of the future or not, who knows how to win, has the experience of actually winning playoff games, I think I have no issue. I originally saw this and I thought, oh no, they're mortgaging the future for a guy that's 31 years old right now.
I think they put him up in a lineup. I can't tell the difference. Looks between Jared Goff, Joey Hauser, and Chuck Long. They look the same. I'm not saying, obviously, Jared Goff's a hell of a lot better than Chuck Long. I'm not going there. But it's interesting because even with Golladay, the reason he was so valuable here was because him and Stafford had this, connection where Stafford said, what the hell, I'm just going to throw it up. I know you're going to get it. Goff's not that kind of quarterback, though. Where Goff, I think, needs more guys to get separation, and I don't think Kenny Galladay's that guy.
Right. No, I don't think so either, but I don't necessarily know that we have that guy. Maybe Bashard Perriman can create some separation downfield.
248-539-9797 is the telephone number, the ticket text. There was little market for wide receiver. Detroit could not sign him and trade for a better pick than the supplemental. Hopefully they tried, and that's probably why. That was my only question, because I think they did the right thing. Although even Goff wants to say this, Broncos, we'll talk about that today. I read this is not a rebuild. Yeah, it is.
Well, you can hear a rebuild from coaches. You can hear a rebuild from Brad Holmes. You're never going to hear a rebuild from players.
They might have traded Galladay this year at the trade deadline, but like most years, he was out hurt. It's not most years. This narrative is crazy.
Right. It's just this past year.
Yeah. I saw an interview with Kenny Galladay the other day. I didn't even know what he looked like. He's a second receiver. It's Jody. He's a number 1 receiver. Is he a top 10 receiver? Maybe. Not top 5. Can't wait for the narrative when Galladay struggles. He doesn't have just like the passing career. John is right. He jaked it last year. Very obvious. And the information you're getting out of New York is they had long meetings to figure out if they wanted to sign him, and I assume Joe Judge, who's the head coach of the New York Giants, I believe Kyle O'Brien is there now too, right? Mm-hmm. One of the Lions personnel guys. I assume Joe Judge spent a fair amount of time discussing Galladay with Mr. Matt Patricia, his friend, or at least his former associate. Talking about Michigan has used the press all year, and Wagner is a big part of that. When Michigan played teams that had high possessions, Michigan was aggressive on D and controlled the tempo. I'm confident Michigan plays their game. They will beat LSU.
Good.
I think they're going to win the game, believe it or not. Even though it sounds like I was being pessimistic, I just think they have to be able to.
We're cautiously optimistic because we haven't seen Juwan Howard. What we've seen from the Big Ten has been less than impressive. So we're cautiously optimistic, and we got to see it tonight against a team that plays a different brand of basketball than anybody in the Big Ten.
And a team that, are they really a basketball school or a football school? We'll discuss that at 7:35. Heather has news coming up next.
Oh yeah, so a minor league pitcher is in some major trouble after he was busted with a boatload of drugs. We'll get to that story and so much more coming up next.
He wasn't a guy on a plane, was he?
No. It wasn't that guy.
All right.
It's not that guy.
If you want to get on a plane, go to Las Vegas. It's a great place for lots of fun, sunshine, pool action, gambling action, lots of action. And who doesn't like action? And if you want to stay at the D, this is the place to be. Go see Vegas, stay at the D. It's great. Book a room today, thed.com. D takes all the necessary precautions to make sure your stay is safe. Enjoy all the social distancing that takes place there. And remember, they have great food. Best steak in Vegas with downtown Vegas, I should clarify. With Joe Vicari's Andiamo Italian Steakhouse right there. Or you want something a little more casual, it's American Coney Island. You know, there's nothing better than a Coney dog at like 4:30 in the morning when you're about to go to sleep. So get a group together, go to Vegas, go book a room today, thed.com. When you're there, hang out at the Long Bar, it's a lot of fun. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports, in Las Vegas, Nevada.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJE and 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by United Wholesale Mortgage. Roads look pretty good this morning. Accident-free, light traffic volumes in most areas, although things are picking up just a little bit through the 75 work zone, heading southbound your 14 mile. United Wholesale Mortgage is the fastest growing company in Metro Detroit, and they're looking for unique individuals like you to join their team. They offer paid training, and you don't need any previous mortgage experience to succeed. So join the team at UWM and be you here. Apply today at UWMcareers.com. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Text the ticket using the same number you used to call the ticket. Ticket text 248-539-9797.
Hi, I'm Matt Garco from Bill Brown Ford. Here's a tip that other dealers won't tell you. You can turn your Ford or Lincoln lease in at Bill Brown Ford no matter where you buy it from. It's true, and we're happy to do it. Whether your lease is up or any time throughout the duration of your lease, no matter where you do business, we'll make it easy for you to become a Bill Brown Ford customer. So switch your lease to Bill Brown Ford, the #1 Ford dealer in Michigan. We'll make sure that you get into the vehicle you love. So get started now at BillBrownFord.com.
Applied Imaging customer Elissa Howard, Director of Operations for the Lucas Howard Group. Look to Applied Imaging for technology, innovation, and trust.
Yeah, so we are always looking for, we call partnerships. So people that we work with, that we can trust, that we can refer to others.
Applied Imaging used PrintSmart, their innovative managed print services plan. One low cost per copy includes all service and toner.
It's been wonderful as far as all of the ink and everything supplied to you and like auto shipped. That's been really helpful for us and our staff, so we don't even have to think about it.
Applied Imaging, fast, friendly, amazing.
They understand the importance of our business running and functioning, which is a big factor for us and one of the reasons why we use Applied Imaging, and I've stayed with them throughout the years.
Call Applied Imaging today and start your partnership. 800-521-0983 or visit appliedimaging.com.
Hi, this is 82-time World Cup champion Lindsey Vonn, and I invite you to join me on May 9th to run for those who can't with the Wings for Life World Run app. Run from anywhere in the world and be part of a global movement to support Wings for Life so that one day we can find a cure for spinal cord injury. 100% of your entry fee goes towards spinal cord research. Sign up and learn more at wingsforlifeworldrun.com.
Hey, James, that order just doubled. We got to move fast here.
Indeed, those unexpected growth can stretch your business thin.
Somebody pick up that phone.
Like a Lucas Gourmet Frozen Pizza Company, to operate at scale, he needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
It's tournament time, so with so many games going on, who wants to bet just one? That's why FanDuel offers parlays. It's a great way to combine bets from different games for an even bigger win. And guess what? FanDuel is here to help if your parlay doesn't go as planned. They'll give you up to $25 back in site credit if your parlay of 3 legs or more falls 1 leg short. That's 1 parlay per day, each day of the tournament for new and existing users. That's why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook app. The app is so easy to use with many bet options to choose from and always on exclusive promotions. And when you win, you get paid in as little as 24 hours. If you've been thinking about signing up, now is the perfect time to give it a shot. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up with the promo code Doug so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code Doug. Must be 21 or older and present in Michigan. Refund issued in non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Maximum refund $25. Terms apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. Gambling problems, call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help.
Does it feel like finding clothes in your fit is impossible? Tired of feeling overwhelmed with options that just aren't right? Let the experts at Stitch Fix do the shopping for you. At Stitch Fix, we make sure each piece is hand-selected for your life. So whether you're staying home or on the go, Stitch Fix has the answer for what to wear. And we make it easy to find what works for you. Signing up takes just a few minutes, and styles are delivered directly to your door. Get started today at StitchFix.com. Stitch Fix, your style delivered.
Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your car, home, motorcycle, commercial auto, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
Only 10 more days until the Tigers home opener on 97.1 The Ticket.
All right, the Pistons lose last night to the Chicago Bulls at the Caesars Arena, 100-86. Tigers over the Phillies 5-3. Michigan's women's team wins their first NCAA game, defeating Florida Gulf Coast 87-66. Iowa beats Central Michigan. Michigan State has their first game tonight against Iowa State. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Heather.
All right, you guys. So a Holland, Michigan restaurant owner was arrested and hauled off to jail on Friday after she refused to comply with COVID orders and restrictions. So the owner of Marlena's Bistro and Pizzeria will remain in jail until she pays $7,500, and authorities can't confirm that her restaurant is closed. Now, state investigators say that she allowed indoor dining when it was banned. She wasn't enforcing mask rules. She was ignoring capacity limits and would not allow inspectors on site.
Want to say about that one?
Well, it's caused quite an uproar, obviously, from a lot of people who are supporting her.
Yeah.
I heard that the court day, which took place on Friday, was, I wouldn't call it wild, but there was a lot of, ruckus, that's a good one. There's some ruckus in the court on Friday as well, so it's
Very polarizing time.
for sure. A 25-year-old man was shot and killed inside the parking garage of Motor City Casino on Sunday. Police say that the shooting happened after this victim and his girlfriend were in some sort of altercation. This was right around 1:50 a.m. on Sunday, and that's when an unknown person intervened, started firing shots, and then killed the young boyfriend. The suspect has been taken into custody, but police are still investigating the shooting. Tragic.
It is.
For somebody, look, it's not part of my culture. It's not part of, I just don't understand why so many people try to solve problems with gunfire. Get into a physical fight if you want to take care of business. This is disgusting.
It is.
But it's been going on for years and years and years. Since the Wild West, for crying out loud.
For sure.
Duel it.
Yes.
That's right.
This story is pretty wild. There is a minor league baseball player who is facing numerous drug charges after police in Colorado found 21 pounds of meth and 1.2 pounds of oxycodone pills in his Chicago Cubs duffel bag. Okay, so this is a Cubs minor league pitcher, Jesus Camargo Corrales. He was actually pulled over last week because he was speeding, he was driving a little erratically, and during the traffic stop, he told police that he was going to Denver to teach a baseball clinic for kids, and he claimed that there were no drugs in the car. However, police let loose their canine named Zane, and the dog alerted authorities to the car's rear wheel as well as the back seat, and that's when they found two bags. They found a white bag with cologne and $1,000 held by a rubber band in one bag, and then in the Chicago Cubs duffel bag, not only did they find some gloves and cleats, but they also found all of the drugs. numerous drug charges.
Nice friend.
Yeah.
If
it's
that
true.
part,
Yeah.
if even that part is true.
Yes.
If that's true.
But more importantly, kudos to K9 Zane.
Yes.
I know, right?
Yeah.
He didn't fall for the Jedi mind trick. There's nothing to see here. There are no drugs
no
in the
drugs
car.
in the car. Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay.
Move along.
On Friday afternoon, a young dad decided to jump a whole bunch of barriers at the San Diego Zoo and get into the elephant exhibit, okay? And he decided to do that with his 2-year-old daughter in tow. And once they got inside, an elephant roared viciously at them and then charged at them. The two are lucky to be alive. Thankfully, the dad was able to duck under this, basically a fence, to get away from the elephant. But as he was doing that, he dropped his toddler basically face first in the process, and the elephant wound up getting just a few inches away from her before the dad was able to grab her and rescue her. Fortunately, there were no humans hurt or killed. There was also no elephant injured at all either. But the bystanders who were watching got some great video of this incident. Take a listen. Oh my gosh.
I know it's. I feel bad laughing because obviously the daughter was in harm's way. Don't really
sure.
feel too bad about the dad, but that is unbelievable.
The video is pretty wild. I mean, because that elephant was not happy they were in there, and it just charged at them. What an idiot! He wanted to get a photo with the elephants, and apparently he didn't want the barrier behind him. He wanted to be inside with the elephants. And what an idiot! He was arrested anyway for child endangerment. So
I'm so surprised the elephant reacted like that. You know, it's like, when I took my kid to see Dumbo, I mean, at the theater, it was, such a nice elephant.
I know. You see people riding them all the time.
Yes.
All right, so after images went viral last week on social media showing the drastic difference between the men's and women's weight rooms at March Madness, the NCAA finally upgraded the women's gym on Saturday. So there was numerous players, but the one that really went viral was Oregon forward Sedona Prince. She posted this video on Friday, and it basically showed the shocking difference between the women's facility, if you can even call it a facility. It was not a facility. It was one weight rack and some yoga mats, okay, compared to the men's workout facility, which was a facility. It was loaded with some serious equipment. She posted that video, and then other people had some things to say about it as well. The NCAA, oh my gosh, what am I trying to say? The NCAA officials upgraded the gym, so she posted a follow-up video as well.
For the NCAA March Madness, the biggest tournament in college basketball for women, pictures of our weight room got released versus the men's. The NCAA came out with a statement saying that it wasn't money, it was space that was a problem. Here's all this extra space. If you aren't upset about this problem, then you're a part of it. Guess what, guys? We got a weight room, yeah! Got a ton more dumbbells, racks for squats, and whatever you want to do. Thank you, NCAA, for listening to us. Yay, guys!
I mean, it was appalling.
It
It
was-
should never have happened in the first place. It was ridiculous.
Yes, I mean, especially, they're so worried about Title IX and things like that for equal this, equal that. To come up with that it's crazy. Now, obviously, I don't think they sit there and make that decision consciously. There's obviously somebody who's in charge of, setting up the facilities in Indianapolis for the men, and there's somebody else who's in there setting up the facilities for the women, and that person's just, they effed up.
Yeah.
That's a
But then
disgrace.
don't come out and say, oh, there wasn't enough space. I mean, they'd be like, oh my gosh, we messed up, we're going to fix it. Don't try to make excuses for it that clearly aren't an excuse when they had a whole room that could have been filled with equipment.
Whoever did that is now putting their resume together, looking for a new job. And you know what? Hats off to, what was the girl's name at Oregon?
Last name was
Sedona Prince.
Yeah, and I mean, what a class act of putting a second video out and
Yes.
showing what the NCAA had done. I mean, she's just a class act by her and her team.
Yep.
I saw the video.
And I think it was like
Fisher said that he is out indefinitely. However, LeBron also tweeted that he hopes to be back soon. So we'll see what's going on with that.
As long as him and Anthony Davis are back in the playoffs, the Lakers will be fine. They're going to lose a lot of games without the two of them. Actually, speaking of injuries, LaMelo Ball, is favored to be Rookie of the Year, fractured his wrist. He's getting a second opinion. His season could be over. That's a shame. He's had a really good season.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Heather. All right. Coming up next, we'll talk about Michigan's opponent, not just on the floor, and if there's any other school that you think is like LSU. 97.
Hey, it's John Jansen here for Southwood Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. The team at Southwood Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has extended the John Jansen Jeep deal through the end of the month. During the Jeep Celebration event, you can get into a 2021 Jeep Cherokee Luxe 4x4 starting at only $229 a month. With amazing features like leather heated seats, heating steering wheel, remote start, this Jeep Cherokee Luxe 4x4 has everything you need in your new ride. My friends Bill and Tim at Southwood Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram have a ton of these Jeeps on the lot right now. So don't waste your time making phone calls, running around from dealer to dealer. When you can go to Southwood Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram for your one-stop shop. So whether it's whether you live in Waterford, Dearborn, South Lyon, or Warren, you're just a short drive or a click away from the best car buying experience you're ever going to have. Trust me, you're going to be happy you did. Ask for the John Jansen Jeep deal today. For more information, check them out online at southwoodchrysler.com. And remember, all roads and all towns lead to Southwood Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram at 11.5 and 10.
This hour's ticket signing bonus keyword is cool. Text cool to 72881 for your chance at $1,000. Is your home listed on the market with a realtor who just couldn't get it sold? Don't give up. Call me, Mark Z. Get your home sold.
Hey, it's Heather Park. It's tournament time, and when the college hoops action tips off, Bat River Sportsbook is the place to be. They've got game days covered with tons of promotions and mystery offers. We're talking buzzer beater insurance, profit boost, parlay insurance, and more all tournament long. Log on to your Bet Rivers account on any tourney game day to see what Mystery Madness special is waiting for you. Visit BetRivers.com for full terms and conditions. Must be 21, playable in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Of course, we have everything you need to take on that oil change. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic Motor Oil and an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for just $32.99. Plus, AutoZone Rewards members get a $5 bonus reward. Not a member? Don't worry. Joining is easy. And you can even earn an extra $5 bonus reward at sign up. Getting your job done just got easy. Restrictions apply. See terms at AutoZone.com/rewards.
If I'm not commuting anymore, where do I really want to live?
While you handle life's questions, Merrill Guided Investing helps you manage your portfolio and invest for your next move with the option to work with an advisor at a low cost and minimum. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/investinggoals to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
Hey, it's Eli Erskovich with the BetQL Tournament Timeout, brought to you by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Tonight in the second round of the college basketball tournament, Creighton takes on Ohio. Creighton is around a 5.5-point favorite, and Ohio is plus 195 on the money line. The total is around plus 148. Creighton avoided the upset in the first round against UC Santa Barbara, but failed to cover the spread. On the other side, Ohio covered and knocked off Virginia, the reigning national champs, thanks to some big plays down the stretch from one of the most underrated guards in the country. This game is going to come down to which team is more consistent from behind the arc. Both three-point defenses can be had, but Creighton shot under 30% in its first round win. You might be expecting a bounce-back performance, but Creighton hasn't shot it well in any of its last 3 games. I back Ohio down to plus 5. 2 possessions seems a little much against a Creighton team that isn't shooting well and struggles to create second-chance opportunities. You might be able to get a better live number on Ohio, too, if Creighton starts out well from 3. This BetQL Tournament Timeout is brought to you by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Download the app and sign up today. Must be 21 years or older. Michigan only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
This hour of instant feedback brought to you by Mike Picaro of National
are 6:30, tip-off around 7. Now, they're playing LSU, and for most people, okay, especially if you are under the age of 50, when you think of LSU, you probably think of Nick Saban, Les Miles, people like that, that brought LSU into football prominence. And exactly, as we get further around, they would win a national championship or two. And they looked at LSU as a football school. But because I'm old, and I'm weird, to me, LSU, in my formative years, okay, LSU is terrible at football. I mean, you forget the Charlie McClendon era. They went to a couple of bowl games, but they were never any good.
Could forget it.
Yes, exactly. And that was like basically from the early 60s up until 1979, and then Jerry Stovall takes over, and Bill Arnsparger. They weren't good, really, for the Jerry DiNardo era. Oh boy, that was a lot of wins up until Nick Saban took over, and then went into Les Miles, and then we know what it is. So now and probably most people look at that football school. But because I grew up in a time where every Saturday was this network called TVS, not TBS, TVS, where they would show like a college in the Southeastern Conference game of the week. So I grew up watching Commanders. And then later on, you had guys like, I don't know, Shaquille O'Neal, Chris Jackson, who was about the Rauf. Then even before I was a kid, Bob Pettit, do your research, was considered one of the greatest forwards of NBA history, went to LSU. And then later on, like I mentioned, Shaq, Bernie Macklin, Big Baby Davis, John Hot Plate Williams. I mean, for me, LSU, even though they never won anything, Dale Brown, when I was a kid, so I always look at them as basketball, even though I know I'm not stupid enough to know that even the people down there care much more about football than they do basketball.
It's SEC country. The whole area cares more about football.
Right, Saturday nights down there. I think they're still the only, stadium that has fives. They'll write down on the hash marks 35, 45.
Yeah.
And they still have 2 goalposts.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think that could change.
Yes.
They were one of the last ones, though, right?
Yeah, but it's been some time, I believe. 2 goalposts.
I can't remember ever seeing that. I thought anyway, kind of like the batting helmet thing. Anyway, so 248-539-9796. Is there one?
Yeah, the number, and Colin, if you remember 2 goalposts.
I do. Not goalposts, but the 2 stands, the goalpost typically comes and it stands at it's anchored in one spot.
Yes.
LSU's anchored in 2 spots.
Yes, exactly.
Underneath both.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. But is there any school where most people think that is, I don't know, a football school, but they're in mind it's a basketball school, or even, vice versa, where I'm just blown around? Because there are people right now, look, I agree that Michigan is a football school, but, if the current trend continues, there's going to be a generation of people that sit there and say, you know what, it's a basketball school.
Well, yeah, and a lot of it just depends on your age.
Yes.
And, if you're 18 years old, you'd look at Michigan and say, you know what, I grew up watching John Beilein, and now I'm watching Juwan Howard, and I remember Rich Rod, I remember Brady Hoke, and there just hasn't been much success on the football field. So, yeah, it all is dependent upon your age. Because the era that you're talking about in terms of LSU basketball, and you mentioned 79, that's before my recruiting history.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I was going back before that with Pete Maravich he was one of the greatest college basketball players of all time.
Mr. Pete?
Yeah, he averaged 44 a game, and there was no 3.
And so I guess I would wonder a little bit if you were born, I don't know, maybe, I guess, I don't really know that there's
with Michigan, there's still people that just, will say Michigan at football is the first thing you think of. And Tom Brady still comes up with that. Be the first person, the first, and his great success was not at Michigan.
No, but it's so much of what, when you say a question like that or you ask a question like that, it's totally recency bias.
Yes.
Because that's the first thing that's going to come to mind is the conversation about Tom Brady and the fact that he's won so many Super Bowls. Where did he go to college? It was Michigan, and that discussion always comes up. So that's kind of a loaded question when you ask what's the first person to come to mind. Because if you were to ask me for LSU, I would say Joe Burrow. And I know that's only 1 year removed.
Yeah, really.
But he had one of the greatest, if not the greatest, single season a quarterback has had in college football history.
Stoney would say Bob Pell.
No, I'd say Shaq or Pistol Pete Maravich when it comes to LSU.
It's Lance Leitner for Duke, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. And for North Carolina, it's obviously Jordan, but don't sleep on LT. And again, a lot of people might not remember that Lawrence Taylor went to North Carolina.
Yeah, I don't know that a lot of people would know that. Just like, you and I know because we watched him, and we just saw a little bit of a highlight this weekend that Shaq went to LSU. But I think if you asked a lot of people, where did Shaq go to college? I think a lot of people would be like, I don't know, because it's been so long ago.
Ticket text. Ben Simmons, LSU. Yeah, I thought about him, but he wouldn't do that. I mean, they couldn't even get to the tournament with him. Jamie Lapierre, I consider LSU more of a baseball school than any other sport. Good call.
Yeah.
Former Tiger Warren Morris. Remember the home run he hit? Jacoby Jones played there, right? And then the great Mikey Matuk. Michigan State is a football school when we beat Michigan, but we're a basketball school when the opposite happens. Texas is just like Michigan in that they think they're a football school, but they are really a basketball school. Although they've had success in football, it's been a long time, and their basketball team is much more consistent. That's Ryan and Waterford. Look, say what you want about Texas basketball, but Shaka Smart has not won a game.
A tournament game.
I think of baseball almost.
Oh, yeah,
they had a great
Clemens.
baseball program.
Clemens, Schiraldi, people like that, yeah. Michigan is a football school? LOL. Okay, nothing to do with time. Michigan hasn't been a football school in 20 years. Yeah, their success hasn't been as good as their basketball team, but as far as what people care about the most, that's part of it. I would say North Carolina. Been doing very well the past few years in football. For the longest time, I had no idea they even had a football team. That's my conclusion.
Mm-hmm. A lot of that's due to Mac Brown. He had success when he was there the first time, and has success again now.
I got to admit, I was way wrong on that. I thought that was a stupid hire.
Oh, you thought he was too old?
Yeah, bringing him back, what for? He was out of the game for a while, right?
Yeah, yeah, because he was, what was he out of the game for about 5 years when he was relieved of duty at Texas.
Yeah.
Then was in the booth and goes back and has done a tremendous job. And the thing that I think is most surprising about Mac Brown is his ability to connect with his student athletes and recruit.
All right, our telephone number 248-539-9797. All right, coming up next, people's brackets are all in shambles unless you have Gonzaga. But the question is, which game over the first 3 days of the tournament really pissed you off? And also, conversely, which underdog, which Cinderella, if you want to use that term, are you rooting for the rest of the way? 97-1 the 2.
Hey, if your bracket is in shambles like everybody else's this year is an exact reason why you should be betting the tournament on FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook. Because on FanDuel, your first bet is risk-free. Doesn't matter if you're betting on a number one